Now on YouTube, it's time for some alternative commentary action with the Commentary Hub.
There's headed by Marina, and it's 2-1 to Arsenal.
Knocks it back, and goal for Manchester City.
Takes this corner, whips it in, it's headed and it's a goal, and it's that man, Gabriel.
Liverpool have equalised. Lovely improvisational touch from Curtis Jones.
Oh, what a goal! Wow, take it out!
Hello and welcome to the Decathlon Arena in Lille for tonight's international friendly between France and Northern Ireland. I'm Adam Howarth and I'll be talking you through the evening's events as France look to bounce back from a 2-1 defeat to the Ivory Coast last time out before they head off to the 2026 World Cup. And they also bid farewell to Didier Deschamps, who leads the team out for one last time on home soil. But first, it's the national anthems.
Oh, the Saviour, gracious King, long live our noble King, God the Saviour King.
What an atmosphere it is here at the Stade Pierre-Mauroy. These French fans keen to send off their heroes ahead of what promises to be quite the World Cup. Last time out in their friendly didn't go quite so well in a 2-1 defeat to Ivory Coast in Nantes. Didier Deschamps makes 3 changes from that team, with PSG duo Ousmane Dembele and Desiree Doué coming in alongside William Saliba, with Ryan Cherki, Marcus Thuram and Ibrahima Konate dropping out of the starting 11. Kylian Mbappe captains the side, he leads the line, and he's 1 goal away from equaling Olivier Giroud's record for record goal scorer for the national team. Referee today is Sascha Stegmann of Germany. His last international match came in November last year, and it was a 6-0 win for Czechia against Gibraltar. Now for Northern Ireland, Michael O'Neill makes 4 changes to the team that won 1-0 against Guinea in Spain. Trey Hume comes in alongside Brodie Spencer, Ali McCann and Patrick Kelly, with Tom Atchison, Jamie McDonnell, Paul Smith and Kieran Morrison dropping out of the team. It was an impressive win for O'Neill's side last time out under the Rock of Gibraltar, and this youthful side that he's picked will have quite a task on their hands today if they are to keep what is quite a frightening attack quiet. As mentioned, the PSG duo Dembele and Doué making up that attack alongside Mbappe, of course, and none other than Michael Olise of Bayern Munich, who's had an incredible campaign in the Bundesliga. Team is now gathering for their team huddles before kickoff, as captains Trey Hume and Kylian Mbappe can deliver one final message to their teammates. France sporting their new white away strip, Northern Ireland in all green. You see France's bench. Deschamps has got no shortage of options to turn to if things aren't quite going his side's way. And it'll be interesting to see tonight just how these teams treat this game, as of course it is an international friendly. But Northern Ireland will feel like they have a point to prove here against one of the best sides in world football. In France, they'll want to hammer home some momentum going into the World Cup finals, especially on the back of a shock defeat to the Ivory Coast. Ryan Cherky, their only goal scorer that game, he drops out onto the bench as we await Kylian Mbappe to get us kicked off. Mbappe gets us underway here in Lille, and it's France shooting from left to right in the all-white strip. Northern Ireland in all green, shooting from right to left. And France just settling in possession early on. William Saliba, back from injury, bit of a late return to the national camp after reaching the Champions League final with Arsenal at the end of what was a very successful season. Jules Koundé now on the right side of defence, passes it back to Saliba, takes a touch and plays it forward to Mbappe, who's dropped rather deep, and it seems that perhaps Ousmane Dembele might be the one leading the line. That is where he delivered his form that saw him win the Ballon d'Or just last year. How deep Mbappe continues to drop remains to be seen, and that will be something that we keep a close eye on throughout the 90 minutes. Northern Ireland, of course, adopting a back five, and as mentioned, with that attack that they're up against, I have to say it's quite a smart call from Michael O'Neill, who's enjoying a very promising start to his second spell as manager of his national team. They came very close to making the tournament themselves, of course, losing to Italy in that playoff after picking up 9 points in their qualifying campaign. Ball's back in France's possession, back with William Saliba. Looks for Tchouaméni again in the midfield under some pressure, finds Koundé, and back into Upamecano. Just patient passing from France to start things off here. Just getting settled. Upamecano now looks forward. Out to Koundé again, just breaching the halfway line. It's back with Dembele. Now he's dropped a bit deeper now. It seems he may be just interchanging with Kylian Mbappe. Adrien Rabiot, a firm favourite of Didier Deschamps. He was at the Qatar World Cup 4 years ago. Now Doué gives it to Mbappe. On the turn, holds off the attention of Trey Hume before offloading for Theo Hernandez, who is fouled there by Brody Spencer. And France will have a free kick on the far left-hand side. Yeah, just a late one there from Spencer. One of many Oxford United players in O'Neill's 11. Kieran Brown, another one in that back line. And of course, Jamie Donnelly leading the line. Although his loan spell at Oxford did come to an end, and he will return to Spurs this summer. Michael Olise stands up to take this free kick. So not the best delivery there. An out swinger is cleared pretty comfortably by the Northern Ireland defence, and he looked for a minute to burst forward there, but a loose touch from Patrick Kelly takes it out for a France throw-in. The back inside the French half. Koundé has the ball again on the right. Finds Olise. Olise yet to really have a touch so far, other than that free kick. Upamecano gives it back out to Theo Hernandez, who now plays his football in Saudi Arabia with Al Hilal. It's good footwork there, but Mbappe, the ball is lost. Spencer breaks forward now. There's a good foot in from Djouameni. It's a careful decision there from Upamecano. I say careful, perhaps not as careful as he'd like there. Dropped Mike Maignan into what could have been a heap of bother. He clears his lines under pressure, but positive from Northern Ireland there to break forward. And Northern Ireland now have the chance to maybe conjure up something of their own going forward. Kieran Brown limbering up to take the throw from the left-hand side. Sends it into the area. Upamecano gets there first, but Isaac Price picks the ball back up, and it's back with Piers Charles in the Northern Ireland goal. Now for Northern Ireland to have a chance to build out from the back. Trey Hume back to Charles. He's under pressure from Dembele. Goes long, but Theo Hernandez beats his man to it, and Mbappe now back out to Hernandez. Just takes his time. Back to Mbappe now on the edge of the box. It's good pressure from Northern Ireland. Emma Cam wins that back, and Isaac Price now has a chance to break forward. He goes out wide to the left, where Crystal Palace's Justin Devaney looks to return the ball to him, but Adrien Rabiot gets there first. Devaney, of course, takes his success with Crystal Palace this season, winning the Conference League in Leipzig against Rayo Vallecano just a couple of weeks ago. France back in possession again now, breaking forward. Adrien Rabiot to Koundé, into Olise on this right hand side. Koundé's gone again, tries to find him, but it's good pressure from Price. It's back to Rabiot though, as France pick up the pieces and go again. Djouameni just inside the half, out to the left where Theo Hernandez finds Kylian Mbappe, who seems to be everywhere in these opening stages. Yet to really notice Desiree Doué 6 minutes in. Rabiot has it again now, about 30 yards from goal, in a bit of space, finds Olise. Taking his time, finds Koundé on the right. It's good foot in from Devaney, but the loose ball will be swept up by Michael Olise, who's gone long there with a good lofted ball into Mbappe into the box. There's a good touch to take it past Hume, but McConville does really well to get ahead to it. It's an important head there. Mbappe appealing for a penalty there, but it's just good defending from Northern Ireland. But it will be a corner. The danger is not over yet. Now Olise, left footer on the right hand side, will go for an in-swinging delivery. It's gone towards the front post. It's met by the head of Trey Hume. Only as far out as Desiree Doué, but his delivery isn't amazing, but Brodie Spencer can only put it behind for another corner. Not quite where he wanted his close to go there. But that chance there just shows what this France team can do. Out of seemingly nowhere, Olise just conjures up a majestic ball over the top. Northern Ireland do what's required them so far. Trey Hume with another header out of the box. Been a busy 7 minutes for the Sunderland man. Another successful season for him, securing Europa League football for the club. Mbappe now from the left. It's good footwork again. He seems like he's in the mood tonight, despite having been nursing that knee injury in recent months. Mbappe and Olise have seen a lot of the ball in these early stages. They are the danger men. And here's another one, Desiree Doué Now on the right where Elise was. Koundé with a great touch to beat Deveni. Puts it inside the box. It's too far. Hernandez picks it up into Mbappe. Puts it wide. France really looking dangerous now. Koundé's delivery dangerous but a bit overhit. Came to Hernandez. Laid off for Mbappe. Set himself. That's an area you don't want to allow Kylian Mbappe to have a shot on goal. In most cases he'll do better than that. That one, wayward. But despite this packed Northern Ireland box, France still having chances. 8.5 minutes in, still 0-0 here. Northern Ireland now on the ball. Trey Hume puts his teammate into trouble there. Ali McCann and Desiree Doué burst forward on the edge of the box. Tries his luck. Perhaps that wasn't his best option. Straight down the throat of Pierce Charles. It's good intervention from Tchouameni there. Doué drives forward. He's got Elise in space. He's gone for goal. And yeah, that was not the right call. Spencer into space now. It's a good ball. Northern Ireland break forward down the right. It's a bad touch. And France have it again. It's another wayward pass. Northern Ireland back on the ball now. Shay Charles out to Justin Deveni. Back into Kieran Brown, and Northern Ireland's starting to settle now on the ball. Brown again. Shay Charles holds off the attention of Jules Koundé and returns it to Brown. Price with a bit of a risky pass back to Pierce Charles, but that was even riskier. Just about missed Kylian Mbappe, and instead Brodie Spencer now comes down the right, but his pass is between Kelly and Donnelly. And Rabiot now picks it up. But it's another wayward pass. Both teams not quite warmed up to it just yet. A few mistakes early on. And Northern Ireland settle once again on the ball. McConville at the heart of that defence. Norwich City defender making his 12th cap tonight. It's back with Kieran Brown. But his pass is picked out by Elise. Dembele returns it to the Bayern man. Into Mbappe now, back to goal on the edge of the box. Turns, looks to the left where he sees Desiree Doué. He goes back into Adrien Rabiot. Theo Hernandez now picks it up on the left. Just patient passing there from France. Upamecano now has it. Tchouameni works on to Koundé and back to Tchouameni. One more to Saliba. Oh, it's good passing this time. Doué plays it into Hernandez. His cross was just a bit off. Trey Hume beating Mbappe to the ball there. And Doué there wins it back. Referee says no foul. He tries the cross with the outside of the boot, but Brown beats it away. Tchouameni recycles. France doing well to recycle possession and stay on top here, as you would expect in a game against a team much further down the FIFA rankings than them. France number 1, Northern Ireland number 70. Doué a bit unlucky to not get a foul there. Ali McCann took the ball, says the referee, but Spencer's clearance cannot be picked up by Jamie Donnelly. And France come forward again. Koundé on the right hand side, just inside the Northern Ireland half. Picked off by Deveni. He works it back into Shay Charles. Possession changing hands yet again. Ali McCann wants to go forward. Finds Charles, but Elise tried to get it. Charles won it back. Isaac Price now. Back with Shay Charles. But it's a wasteful pass from McCann. Dembele into Mbappe. But 4 defenders ahead of him. Tries to step over and tries to find Doué, but Trey Hume's there. And Patrick Kelly now wriggles away and returns it into Trey Hume, who drives forward. Rabiot surely pulling on his shirt there, and referee says yes, that is the case. Free kick for Northern Ireland about on the halfway line. And both teams wasteful in possession in the early stages. But as expected, France looking the more dangerous outfit. Hume lays the ball off on the halfway line, gets ready to take this free kick. Likely to be a punt in towards the area. Sends it into the box. Tchouaméni heads away. Kelly will pick it up on the right hand side though. Got Hernandez in front of him. Turns around. Finds Price. First time pass looking for Spencer, but picked off by Teo Hernandez, who marauds forward now. Stays on his feet despite the challenges, but his pass is picked off and the referee pulls it back for the advantage for the previous foul. France gets going again in the free kick. Ball's on the halfway line with Tchouaméni now. Voice out to the right for Jules Koundé. Into Michael Elise. Back inside to Tchouaméni. Back to Elise and for Dembele. Again, patient passing from the French side. Elise back with the ball now. It's a great threaded pass to Mbappe. Is he onside? Pierce Charles makes the save. The flag did go up. It's a great ball by Elise again, but the Northern Ireland defence hold their line well there. Mbappe is indeed offside. His effort slips through the grasp of Pierce Charles, but now Northern Ireland come forward. Patrick Kelly has a go. Fires it wide of the far post. It's a big chance for Northern Ireland. It's their first of the game. It's a quick attack. Isaac Price with a terrific ball in behind. Patrick Kelly just beats Teo Hernandez to it, who trips over, sets himself. It's a good effort. Goes for that far corner just inside the box. Mike Maignan might have had it covered, but it just flies wide. But encouraging signs for Michael O'Neill's men. They do have a bit of attacking threat, clearly. They might well have chances tonight. And that perhaps may serve as a bit of a wake-up call to France. Played a very high line early on, as you'd expect. But Northern Ireland, perhaps Patrick Kelly, is playing in such a far forward role because of that pacing behind. And Isaac Price, while he is traditionally a winger, he's dropping very deep. And he can produce passes like that when he's playing in those areas. But France now have it. Edging towards the Northern Ireland third. Rabiot receives it from Tchouaméni and goes out wide to Jules Koundé. It's back with Rabiot. The Milan midfielder dinks it into the area, but the bounce is unkind for Doué. The defence get it clear, but Koundé's back with the ball. Upamecano gets into their half. Goes long for Mbappe, but Hume is highest to it. Ali McCann passes with his chest, but Patrick Kelly's robbed by Desiree Doué. And Tchouaméni's back in possession. About 35 yards out, he goes back to Jules Koundé. There's 10 men in green in front of him, as well as Pierce Charles in between the sticks. It'll be quite a hard low block to break down, and Hernandez couldn't get to that ball ahead of Brodie Spencer, but Desiree Doué makes sure that there's no such threat down that right hand side on the counter attack. He goes long looking for Hernandez, but Hume is there again. Picked up the pieces by Mbappe. It's great forward to beat Brodie Spencer. Again popping up on the left, Mbappe. He goes back to Desiree Doué, puts the ball into the box towards Mbappe. Hume's there. His clearance isn't amazing, and Tchouaméni thought about going for goal, but the bounce helps Hume regain possession yet again. And 17 minutes now on the clock. Northern Ireland holding their own so far, with the game still goalless. Rabiot puts it out wide to Desiree Doué. It's good footwork from the PSG star, winner of back-to-back Champions Leagues, alongside Ousmane Dembele. Lucas Hernandez as well, among others. Dembele now picks the ball up, lofts it back to William Saliba, holds off the attentions of Patrick Kelly before finding Rabiot, drives forward, has a go. It's not a terrible effort at all. Just flies over the crossbar. A lot of power behind that shot. 31 years old now, Adrien Rabiot. Going to another World Cup. It's a decent effort. Dipping, but just dipped too late, unfortunately for him. and it will be a goal kick for Northern Ireland, and that only results in France having the ball back straight away. Upamecano and Koundé continuing to see a lot of the ball, and France with 65% of it so far. Meanwhile, France might not quite be in fine form so far tonight. This is a World Cup warm-up game, we must remember. And the exact purpose of these games is so that this team can build sharpness, build a bit of rhythm and momentum, get used to playing with each other before they head stateside. And their first game, France, is a week on Tuesday against Senegal in New Jersey. But Doué finds Hernandez down the left, tries to put the cross in, but it's blocked by the defender, and a corner will come. Danger here perhaps for Northern Ireland. Doué limbers up to take the corner with his right foot, goes short to Elise, tries to throw it through for Dembele, but Patrick Kelly's there. It's back on the edge of the box for Theo Hernandez, looks to cross it. It's a dangerous delivery, but not quite what he was hoping for. A bit too overhit, goes far beyond the crowd of bodies in the area, and out for a goal kick, which Northern Ireland take quickly with Pierce Charles. Elise close him down, but Charles goes long. There could be a bit of space here. Patrick Kelly tries it down, but he is robbed by Desiree Doué. Goes inside to Mbappe, tries the flick. Ali McCann lucky as it falls to Tchouaméni. Back to Doué, back to Tchouaméni. On the edge of the box, has a go. Oh, off the post. Back to Doué, inside for Mbappe, and there's the opener. But is the flag up? The flag has gone up. It won't count. Mbappe thought he'd equal that record, but I'll have to wait. It's dangerous play again from France. A terrific effort from Aurélien Tchouaméni. It's a great strike off the woodwork, and it is Doué who comes back in from an offside position to cross for Mbappe. And it's the correct call from the linesman. Northern Ireland survive another scare. This is a good test for Northern Ireland. It's a young team, and in the Nations League they top their group ahead of Bulgaria, Belarus and Luxembourg to win promotion to the B League, where they'll face Georgia, Hungary and Ukraine. A bit more of a sterner test, but now here come France again as Rabiot finds Doué in behind. His cross is headed away by Brown. Rabiot is up for it, but McCann's done well, and McConville clears. Price puts it out wide to Justin Devaney. He's turned back around again. He tries to go forward, but it hits the back of Tchouaméni. Or has it hit his arm? Referee says so. Michael O'Neill bellowing instructions out to his players there on the sideline in his blazer, as Pierce Charles strides out of his goal to take this free kick from deep. It's from just inside the Northern Ireland half. It's not a bad ball, but Theo Hernandez is up before any man in green, but McCann picks it up, finds McConville, out the right to Patrick Kelly, looks for Donnelly in behind, but Saliba mops up and opts to coolly find Theo Hernandez, who now drives forward before offloading to Desiree Doué. Just inside the front half, he's gone back to Saliba, kind of taking the sting out of things. Upamecano is back in possession, and it's back with Saliba yet again. Forward to Rabiot. Mbappe deep yet again. Finding Upamecano. Out to Jules Koundé on the right hand side. Finds Elise. Turns around with Justin Devaney and Isaac Price in front of him. Back inside to Upamecano. And France still just keeping the ball patiently, waiting to find an opening, but some of the passes they've played so far, you wouldn't bet against them doing just that. Upamecano finds Koundé. He's had to turn around again. Into Tchouaméni now. Wants to turn and inject a bit of pace into this attack. And finds Doué on the left. Rabiot looks to be in space on the left, but Trey Hume has done excellently again. What an opening 23 minutes he's had, but his ball... Oh, he's looking to get away with the misplaced pass there. Patrick Kelly just about burning him out with Ali McCann. But the possession is back with France. Rabiot holding onto the ball, using his body. Hernandez rises the challenge of Brody Spencer. And Elise has the ball 30 yards out in a central area, gives it a go, but not enough conviction behind the shot. Straightforward save for Pierce Charles, who keeps hold of that. And he'll take them all day long. He goes long, Isaac Price looking to run in behind. Upamecano confidently uses his chest to play it on to Koundé. Price will put him under pressure. It's a good sliding challenge to put it out for a throw. Good desire shown there from Price, the West Brom winger. Scored a hat-trick in the Nations League for Northern Ireland against Bulgaria in 2024. The goal tally for his country is 10 in 31 caps. And the sides now break away for a cooling break, and Deschamps giving instructions out to Jules Koundé. It seems to be a bit of disagreement perhaps. Deschamps came under a bit of criticism at Euro 2024 for some of the France performances on the way to that semi-final defeat to Spain. But it can't be argued what a job that he has done. Just a third man to win a World Cup, both as a player and a manager. And he is France's longest serving manager this year. He leaves after 14 years in the role, having won the World Cup in 2018 and the Nations League in 2021, while reaching the finals of World Cup 2022 and Euro 2016. He'll be hoping to reach another major final as he bids farewell to the Blues this summer. They're certainly one of the favourites for the tournament when they take on Senegal in New Jersey next week to kick off their campaign. They then face Iraq in Philadelphia and Norway at the Boston Stadium over a 10-day period. It's been touted as one of the groups of death in the tournament. Norway and Senegal both fancied to get out of the group, if not in second, in third. A lot of talent on display in that group. France under some pressure to top it. As play resumes now with Jules Koundé taking the throw. Rabiot towards his own goal, confidently plays it across to Saliba, and there might be a bit of space to break into now as Theo Hernandez bursts forward. Finds Kylian Mbappe, just lays it off backwards for Saliba. Tchouaméni just inside the Northern Ireland half, goes long with an excellent ball. Doué with a great touch, and Mbappe has a go, but there's not enough conviction on the shot. It didn't quite fall at the feet of Ousmane Dembélé. It's behind, but it's another example of the danger that France possess in their attacking arsenal. Pierce Charles numbers up for what is another goal kick. It's another one that is sent long, but it's absolutely nowhere near that. Rabiot heads back, but thankfully for Northern Ireland, it's back with Trey Hume. He goes back to his goalkeeper, who goes long yet again. And Donnelly couldn't beat Saliba in the air. Might be a bit of a shove there from Kelly on Theo Hernandez. Referee says no. Barnsley's Patrick Kelly making his 4th appearance for his country tonight. Nice play there, and Brody Spencer had the chance to feed Kelly in behind down the right again there, but it's a key intervention from Hernandez. It's another throw for Brody Spencer to take. Brody Spencer debuted for his country at 17 years old back in 2022. His Oxford teammate Kieran Brown now picks up possession, and his pass on the left is deflected out for a throw. As Northern Ireland have settled a bit since that cooling break, despite the scare from Kylian Mbappe. Devaney throws back to Kieran Brown. Pierce Charles playing it out to McConville. And Spencer on the right now, finding Trey Hume. Goes to find Ali McCammon, is picked off by Rabiot. And Dembele back heels for Tchouameni. And France build again. Rabiot in the centre circle now. Finds Tchouameni. Walks forward to the left. Theo Hernandez by the touchline. Back into Tchouameni. France just still knocking at the door. Dembele, the next player to drop deep from the front line. Picks up the ball, starts driving forward and goes up wide to Theo Hernandez. Continues his run, but Hernandez just checks back. And Tchouameni picks up the pieces. Tchouameni, of course, scorer of one of France's goals against England in the 2022 quarter-final of the World Cup. He goes to his second major finals at the World Cup. It's a good turn by Elise there after Koundé's header. Flicks it over the head of Devaney, but he's just forced backwards again. Rabiot now gets onto his left foot. Finds Dembele, got a bit of space. Works on nicely to Theo Hernandez. Out wide to Mbappe again. Mbappe breaches the challenge of Brody Spencer. Lays it off to Upamecano. There's a lot more pace in this front attack now, and Koundé tries to work some space in the box but can't quite get past Kieran Brown, whose clearance takes it out for a throw, and it is a France throw. Koundé throws back for Upamecano, and Saliba has the ball in the centre circle. France had a great qualifying campaign for the World Cup. Won 5 of their 6 games, didn't lose once. Scored 16 goals in the process. Finishing 6 points clear of Ukraine in second place. Upamecano back to Saliba. The defenders enjoying a few passes between themselves now as Upamecano looks to find Mbappe. Northern Ireland clear, but only as far as Tchouameni. Doué. A few step overs there to work the space. Rabiot's pass backwards isn't the best. Northern Ireland pressing well with Jamie Donnelly there, but Upamecano holds off the challenge. Koundé back to the Bayern Munich defender. And Arsenal's Saliba finds Tchouameni again. Theo Hernandez very high up on the left flank for France. He comes inside now. It's a nice drive. His pass is a bit off target, but Dembele picks it up. It's a good lofted ball looking for Mbappe, who will get there. Headers back to goal, and Trey Hume just did enough. I must say, Trey Hume has had an excellent opening half an hour. Dembele now comes inside to Tchouameni from the right. Over to the left for Hernandez. He thinks about having a go, and he does. But the less said about that attempt, the better. Wildly high and wide into the crowd here in Lille. And France's last game here in Lille was against a British opponent, Scotland, in October 2023. Ended up 4-1. Benjamin Pavard scored twice. Mbappe scored a penalty, and Kingsley Coman scored the 4th. He also beat South Africa here in March 2022 by 5-0. It won't make for great reading for the Northern Irish, but in this opening half an hour they've done quite a good job of keeping the French at bay. Koundé now in the Northern Irish half on the right hand side. Dembele very deep. Shea Charles in front of him, and Shea Charles does get it back, and he's fought for it well there for that second ball. Dembele slides to put it out for a throw, and Charles thought about taking it quickly, but he leaves it instead for Justin Devaney. And he throws back to Shea Charles. He's got Trey Hume free in the middle in the centre circle. Out wide for Brody Spencer. It's a good ball in behind looking for Patrick Kelly, but it does trickle behind for a goal kick. I wonder if we will see Paul Smith on in the second half on that right hand side for Northern Ireland. A bit more experience and a bit more power going forward. Keep France coming forward again in the meantime. Theo Hernandez on the left. Out wide for Doué. 34 minutes on the clock, still goalless here at the Decathlon Arena. Doué's cross is headed away by Rory McConville, but Tchouameni has it again in the middle of the Northern Ireland half. A lot seems to be going through the Real Madrid man today. He's got it again on the edge of the box. Finds Elise, got a little bit of space to work with. Lays it off to Koundé instead. Plays it on one more for Mbappe on the right hand side now. He truly is everywhere tonight, but yet to quite have a decisive impact. Devaney prevents the goal kick. The corner kick, I should say. But in doing so, France have possession again, and they come forward again. Doué. Back to Hernandez. Rabiot. Doué looks to turn Ali McCann there, but is unsuccessful in doing so. And Kelly finds Spencer. Nice 1-2. Kelly appeals for the throw against Adrien Rabiot, and he does indeed get it. The average age of that Northern Ireland side that beat Guinea by a 1-0 was just 22.1. Shows the trust that Michael O'Neill is putting in these youth players. Liverpool's Kieran Morrison making his debut last time out, as well as Kadak O'Neill of Arsenal. Neither in the starting 11 tonight. It was Tom Atchison who scored the winner against Guinea, but he did also get sent off, which means he's not available today. But Northern Ireland have a free kick just inside the front half. Hume goes quickly, looking for Devaney, but Hernandez deals with the situation well. Magnan sweeps up and quickly throws back out, and France come forward again. Tchouameni out to Koundé. Advancing up the half now, Meccano into Tchouameni again in the centre circle. Plays it into the Northern Ireland half now to Adrien Rabiot, working out onto the left now. Mbappe back into Rabiot. It's a nice play from France. Rabiot returns it to Hernandez, but Northern Ireland have regrouped already, and those two banks of five are immediately in France's way yet again. Doué picks it up and returns it to Mbappe. Finds it with Meccano. Back to Koundé, back to Meccano. Northern Ireland are doing a very good job defensively so far, keeping one of the best attacking sides in the world out for what has been 37 minutes so far. Hernandez throws quickly back to Desiree Doué. Mbappe back to Hernandez. Back with Mbappe. And France waiting for their opportunity to find that killer pass. Elise with a bit of a fancy move, bit of footwork there, and Tchouameni with a bit of a desperate lunge as Northern Ireland regain possession. Price looks up, sends it long. Donnelly just about gets the pass away to Ali McCann. Loses the foot race to Elise and loses the ball as well, as Elise turns forward now looking into the space, finds Dembele on the right. He beats Devaney, crosses on the right foot, It works its way to the back post where Desiree Doué picks up the ball just outside of the area. Edge of the box is Meccano. He finds him. Looked like he was maybe going to take a shot there, but he opts to find Koundé instead. Dembele returns looking for Koundé, but Brown gets in the way and puts it behind for another throw-in. And let's not forget, this Northern Ireland side is missing 3 key players. Dan Ballard, Trey Hume's teammate at Sunderland, among them Paddy McNair, who played in Euro 2016, along with captain Conor Bradley of Liverpool. But they've settled again on the ball here, and McCann holds it up to find Jamie Donnelly, who's dropped deep. Back with Devaney now, looking towards goal, his own goal. And we look forward again now, McConville. Spencer. McConville's pointed long, because that is where Trey Hume is. And what can he do now? Starts as a right back for Sunderland, plays a right centre back today. Uses footwork well to evade the challenges there. And Northern Ireland with a few men forward here now. Donnelly on the left hand side, just outside the area. Lays it off. Shay Charles looks up. Franz have got back. It's a terrific ball by Shay Charles. Patrick Kelly just about dispossessed by William Saliba. But that's an incredible pass from Shay Charles, just to cut them open. And there's seemingly nothing on. It's a great run by Kelly, but the touch just lets him down. But that's the second time today Patrick Kelly has got in a dangerous position. It shows what Shay Charles can do. He's an all-action midfielder, Shay Charles. Equally effective in both boxes, and that's an insight into what he can do with his vision. But France come forward again, as Hernandez finds Doué on the left. It's good footwork to toy with the defenders, but the 2 defenders are too much for Desiree Doué, and the ball is back at the feet of Pierce Charles. Of course, Shay's brother. Linked with a move away from Sheffield Wednesday this summer, Pierce Charles, after the Owls were relegated from the Championship. His long ball is headed away by Saliba, and Doué can't quite bring it under control. Kelly wins it back again, and Brown, there's a bit of space now in the Northern Ireland defence. Devaney finds McCann. Northern Ireland settling in now as we tick over past 40 minutes. Brown's gone long. Devaney beats Koundé to the ball, but the touch was just a bit too heavy. And Magnan took his chances there. The ball came back at him with some force. He opted to chest it. Could have gone anywhere. And eventually just puts his foot through it. And again, the ball is back with Northern Ireland. Shay Charles finds Brown. There's a bit of space out on the left for Justin Devaney. He picks it up. Tries the 1-2 beyond Jules Koundé. Finds Isaac Price, but Koundé then fouls Devaney, and it's a free kick to Northern Ireland just inside their half. That Koundé foul there, an obvious shove on Justin Devaney. Perhaps it's a sign of a little bit of frustration for Didier Deschamps' side, who really would expect to have scored by now. Devaney just goes back to Pierce Charles from the free kick. All very low risk. France didn't score in that other warm-up friendly against Ivory Coast in Nantes until the 45th minute, when Ryan Cherki scored that terrific finish. There's a great ball now, and Desiree Doué is in behind on the left, lays off to Dembele, deflected, and Elise puts it in right on cue. They've waited. It's taken them to late in the half again to break the deadlock, but they do, and Michael Elise is the man to do it. France 1, Northern Ireland 0. It's a great long ball by Meccano out of nothing. The minute Northern Ireland's defence steps forward, Doué uses pace to get in behind. It's a good block by McConville. Brown is drawn across to try and help him block that effort from Dembele, and instead Elise pops up to finish on the weak foot, and France have liftoff. It's all very unfortunate for Northern Ireland, who had grown into the game and had really been holding their own. But France take the lead, and it's Michael Olise. And if they are to have any success at this summer's tournament, the Bayern Munich man will certainly have his part to play. This will be his first World Cup. The only attacker with Mbappe to keep his place in the side from that team that lost to Ivory Coast. It was Cherki who scored in the 45th minute in that game, and it's Olise in the 43rd tonight. Northern Ireland have put us back underway. Pierce Charles' clearance is a bit awry. Dembele tries to beat Shea Charles, and his pace will just about let him do so. And they've worked the ball up for another throw-in. Koundé takes it quickly, but it's a bit overhit, but Olise's footwork just bails him out. It's a great touch to take it past Donley and keep the attack alive. Tchouaméni into Mbappe. On the stroke of half time now, Adrien Rabiot puts out wide to Jules Koundé. Rabiot again finding Saliba. Hernandez is in a bit of space on the left. Doué doesn't find him, instead finds Trey Hume. Drives out of defence to find Isaac Price. Shea Charles with a first time pass is very good. Into the feet of Justin Devaney. Got Upamecano to beat. Has he kept it in there? He has. But Upamecano regains possession. And Maignan starts the attack again. Tchouaméni finding Olise. Olise gets past Isaac Price and returns it to Doué. Looks to play forward to Dembele, but Brown's there. Olise beats McCann to the second ball. Just inside the box now. Lays it off to the edge, but there's no one there. Kelly breaks away. There's 3 minutes of time added on. With 30 seconds in. Spencer holds off the challenger Fernandez and lays it off to Kelly. So play it down the line. Donley gets in the channels, and he's gone down there. I'm not sure there's a foul, but the referee says there is. Ali McCann drawing the foul there. Rabiot grabbing on to the arm of the Preston North End midfielder. And perhaps a chance late in the half here for Northern Ireland to draw level, and what a time this would be to do it. Shea Charles stood over the dead ball. There's about 4 men in green in the area. Can Shea Charles' delivery find one of them? And it goes. Just met by the header of Aurélien Tchouaméni. But the clearance is only as far as Justin Devaney. There's a bit of space for Price. He could have laid it off there in the space, but instead it's headed back across by McConville and tapped in. But the flag has gone up. Northern Ireland there again, giving France a scare. They can be very encouraged by this first half. The dangerous free kick. McConville's header looped over Maignan's glove, and Donley was the one who tapped it into the back post. But it appears the ref has blown for a push on Theo Hernandez by Rory McConville. He certainly puts his arms on him, but I'm not sure there's enough in there for Hernandez to go down. Alas, it remains France 1, Northern Ireland 0, and there's about a minute left of stoppage time here. Michael O'Neill's side, you have to say, a bit hard done by. But again, France's quality just shining through. The referee blows for a late foul there, and France gets going again. Olise seems to have suitably warmed up now. Just as I say that, Isaac Price dispossesses him, but he is tackled, and Koundé swarmed by 3 green shirts there, and Price comes away with it. Charles into Kelly, space on the left now for Jamie Donley. Could be space in the channels again if you can find the number 16, Ali McCann, and the ref has given another foul there, and that should do it for the first half. Again, not sure there's a lot in that foul and Tchouameni there from Ali McCann. But in that case, the attack was going to come to nothing regardless. But that does it for the first half here in Lille. That Michael Olise goal late in the half, enough to have France in front going into the break after a spirited first half from Michael O'Neill's Northern Ireland. Half time, France 1, Northern Ireland 0. And the teams come back out now for the second half here. And there might be a change or two in the offing. Maxence Lacroix of Crystal Palace comes into that France backline, replacing William Saliba. Lacroix only made his debut for France earlier this year. He's now got 3 caps to his name. Well, now he's got a 4th. Northern Ireland stood over the ball waiting to get us kicked off. Malo Gusto also coming on for France at right back, the Chelsea man. Awaiting confirmation on who that's for. The one would presume is Jules Koundé. As Jamie Donnelly gets us underway for the second half here. France lead by a goal here in Lille. It's 1-0 as this second 45 begins. Northern Ireland now shooting from left to right. France from right to left. It was indeed Jules Koundé who made way for Malo Gusto. And as much as it's an old cliche, scoring on the stroke at half time is always a good time to score. It would have no doubt affected what the managers were preparing to say about 5 minutes before half time, ahead of their team talks. But an important goal for France, and the hosts will have their sights set on adding to that lead in the second half. If they can start with intent, have a fast start, maybe catch Northern Ireland out, they can maybe really take control of this game. Lacroix with his first touches, finding Doué. This attack continues to rotate and exchange. Elise perhaps not coming out to the left as much, but it's still coming central. Doué, Mbappe, Dembele all interchanging. And it is certainly causing some problems for the Northern Ireland defence. Doué's touch takes it to Hernandez. Doué into Mbappe in the space now. I've got long sleeves on Kylian Mbappe. His long ball in the direction of Dembele was put behind for a throw. Ryan Cherki warming up there down below for France. As they take the throw, Elise inside to Mbappe, back to Elise, the goal scorer. Out wide to Gusto. It's only 23, Malo Gusto. And he's got 10 caps to his name already. Had an interesting Chelsea career so far. He has already tasted World Cup glory, albeit in the Club World Cup with the Blues. Now Doué takes on Brodie Spencer on the left. He darts inside, finds Elise, just about gets it into Theo Hernandez, and Tchouaméni manages to hold onto the ball there before offloading to Malo Gusto. Dembele on the right. It's a great turn by Elise. Gets to the byline, floats it in. Pearce-Charles can only get a hand to it. Hernandez goes for the header. Perhaps the wrong option. And he comes back out for Michael Elise, who's done it again. It's 2. 2 for Elise, 2 for France. And as I've mentioned, a bright start to the second half. Might just put the game to bed. It's a terrific, emphatic finish from Michael Elise. Hernandez's header only parried away by Pearce-Charles. It's originally a great turn though from Elise. His cross, it's blocked by Trey Hume. Hernandez's header, and it just falls so nicely for Elise. Hume unlucky to not be able to clear his lines there. Doué left it and he jumped, and you got to say full credit to Doué for jumping there because he timed that perfectly. It's a swinging volley from Michael Elise, and it flies into the back of the net. What a hit. 2-0 now for France. Michael Olise has had quite the rise. He really will be important for France this summer. Northern Ireland gets back underway. If they're to get anything from this game, they'll need a fairly prompt response. Price holds onto it and finds Charles. Plays it out wide for Justin Devaney. And I must say, there's a bit of a Crystal Palace theme on the pitch at the moment. Albeit Olise did leave the club, but Maxence Lacroix and Justin Devaney, teammates facing off against each other here on the international stage. No changes at half-time from Michael O'Neill. And Trey Hume has picked out a lovely pass to Devaney. It's a great touch to bring it inside. He's laid it off, but Donnelly just didn't quite read it. And France clear lines. But there has been some encouraging signs for Northern Ireland. Elise's goals tonight, his 5th and 6th for his country on his 17th appearance. Could have played for England, of course, but opted to play for France. And here he found himself in what is a rather scary attack. And Pierce Charles with a good line breaking pass there. Donnelly with a nice bit of footwork. He just about kept hold of the ball there. He's gone down, but he works onto McCann nicely. It's good interplay between the Northern Ireland midfield, and Isaac Price breaks forward. Look to his left to find Donnelly, and Trueman gets his foot in the way. Brodie Spencer fuming that he didn't receive the ball in that space on the right. Not to worry for the men in green though. They pick up the ball again at the defence. Hume will find Brodie Spencer, turns it and gives it back to Trey Hume. And the last time that Northern Ireland played in France was, of course, Euro 2016, a whole decade ago now. Northern Ireland, of course, got out of their group that summer, made it to the round of 16, where they lost 1-0 to eventual semi-finalists Wales in the Parc des Princes in Paris. They played 2 of the games at those finals, while playing one in Lyon and another in Nice. None in Lille, where they are tonight. Lacroix has the ball just inside the France half. Finds him Meccano. Hernandez. Doué. Back to Theo Hernandez. Back across the field to Lacroix, just inside the Northern Ireland half now. It's a quick, fast-paced ball to Elise. It's a lovely flick to Mbappe, but perhaps a bit too ambitious there as McCann gets in the way, and now Price has a bit of space to drive into. Down the left, Elise presses and Elise wins it back, at the expense of a throw-in in a dangerous area. And Northern Ireland's last away game as well did end in a draw. Jamie Donnelly on the score sheet in a draw with Wales. No, that's friendly, I should say. But it doesn't rectify what is a pretty poor record on the road, winning 1 of their last 11. Patrick Kelly coming inside from the throw. I think Gusto might have got a nick on that attempted cross, and it loops up into the grateful arms of Mike Maignan. 8 minutes into this half now, Mbappe lines up a long ball, and Spencer does well to get his head on that to stop Desiree Doué from getting there. Charles on the turn, driving into the space. It's not an amazing touch from Justin Devaney, who just about keeps it in. Ball's worked back to Rory McConville at the heart of the Northern Ireland defence. That long ball out from Trey Hume is cleared back to the Sunderland man, and that pass is rather risky from Price, and Shea Charles just bails him out there. A classy showing so far from Shea Charles. Will be eyeing promotion with Southampton this summer, after this season, after missing out this year in a bizarre turn of events. Northern Ireland settling in again on the ball. McCann takes it into the opposing half, but is dispossessed by Ousmane Dembele. Elise looks to turn, but turns into trouble. Devaney does well to win it back from a Crystal Palace teammate. And Charles has it again to find Patrick Kelly. Holds off Rabiot. And Trey Hume, finding up his options. Finds Charles in space. He thinks about having a go and does have a go. Goes low and hard. Go for that far corner from about 25 yards out, but just drags it wide. Never really looked like going in. But it'll be attempts like that that might just be what Northern Ireland need if they're to have any chance of mounting a comeback. Now France can build again and come forward. Mbappe finds gusto just inside the Northern Ireland half. Tchouaméni tries a diagonal ball, it hits Rabiot's back, fortuitously bounces back to Theo Hernandez, who returns it to the Milan midfielders. Good give and go between Doué and Hernandez, and Doué's footwork wriggles away, releases Hernandez on the left, pulls it back across for Mbappe, and he should do a lot better. On the left foot, he just scoops it, gets underneath it. There's a lovely give and go there. Great footwork from Doué. Hernandez may have just been offside, but it's a good ball by Hernandez, and Mbappe, you'd put your house on him putting away chances like that. It is a little bit behind him, but it does seem to come off his shin. And the record awaits Kylian Mbappe. He's certainly not short on records. His hat-trick in the last World Cup final meant that he became the top scorer in World Cup finals, having scored one in the 4-2 win over Croatia in 2018 as well. He's also 6th all-time top goal scorer at the World Cup. And in that World Cup 2018, he became France's youngest goal scorer at a World Cup finals. And only the second teenager to score 2 goals in a World Cup after Pelé. Certainly not bad company for Kylian Mbappe. 2 World Cup finals, or 2 World Cup tournaments, 2 World Cup finals for Kylian Mbappe. He'll want to make it 3. And he's safe to say he's got a good chance. Now Doué receives from Elise, finds gusto on the right. Inside for Mbappe. Into Elise, good footwork, but the back heel never really looked like finding a teammate. Elise tries again, a quick ball to release Dembele, but it's deflected away. Back to Tchouaméni. France not looking too troubled now. Elise certainly in full flow. Finds Hernandez, puts it down the line for Mbappe. Takes on Hume. Turns around, evades the attentions of Patrick Kelly. Finding Rabiot, looks to return it to Mbappe. Flag stays down for now, and Mbappe comes inside. And the flag is now up. Seemed obvious that Mbappe was offside there. Rabiot finding him. But again, it's great forward to come inside, and the deflected effort is saved by Pierce Charles. And the goalkeeper will resume play from the free kick. Lucas Digne, Bradley Barcola and Ryan Cherki looking ready to come on for France. Though Deschamps did say ahead of the game that he wouldn't be making quite as many changes in-game as he did against the Ivory Coast, almost changing the entire team during that match. Instead, he wants his team to build a bit of momentum and build a bit of sharpness going into the tournament. A lot of long sleeve shirts out there, though I'm not sure they'll be required when the finals roll around. Tchouameni in the short sleeves. Theo Hernandez back to Maxence Lacroix in the long sleeves. Rabiot back to Aurelien Tchouameni just inside his own half. Finds Doué on the left flank. Got Brody Spencer to beat. Takes him down the touchline. Threatens to come inside, but Patrick Kelly gets an important foot in there. And Hume looks to return it to the Barnsley man, but it's a bit overhit and Tchouameni will regain possession. Lacroix finds it for Meccano. Offloaded to Gusto. Elise for Dembele. Back to Gusto. Back to Dembele. Nice bit of link-up play here on the right-hand side. As Dembele comes inside. About 35 yards out from goal now. Theo Hernandez in an inside position. Finds Doué on the left. Hernandez has gone again. But Doué opts to go inside to Mbappe. Out to Tchouameni. Mbappe with a nice threaded ball to Hernandez. And that box is full of green shirts. Tchouameni lays it off and France keep it ticking. Hernandez goes for the give and go with Doué and he's gone down. Hernandez there. Under the challenge of Brody Spence. I'm not sure if the ref's given that. It would seem a little soft. He does look to block him and he has given the free kick France's way. As Luca Digne comes on, Ousmane Dembele is one of the players to make way. Ryan Cherki replacing him. Theo Hernandez he's replaced by Luca Digne. And Bradley Barcola comes on for his PSG teammate Desiree Doué. Barcola getting his 20th cap. Ryan Cherki's had quite a good start to life in the French national team. Cap number 7, already scored twice. 2 very impressive goals, including one on one of his first games against Spain, that 5-4 win. A free kick is very dangerous. It's just about got away. Barcola immediately on the ball, finding Ryan Cherki on the left. Digne on the overlap, the subs linking up. Instead he goes inside to Rabiot. Oh, and Rabiot with a nice pass. Pulls it in the area. Spencer closes only as far as Mbappe. Blocked again. Goes on the slide tackle to win it back and does so. Rabiot lays it off this time. Put over the bar. Maxence Lacroix this time. It's a relentless France attack. Just when you think it's blocked and cleared, they're back again. And there's another good chance. Lacroix's not far off there either. What a way that would have been to score his first international goal. Change from Northern Ireland now. Ali McCann of Preston making way. And Ethan Galbraith of Swansea City coming on in his place. Charles' long ball is cut out. And Cherki's got it now. Wants to go back to Meccano. But Price picks his pocket. Dances around Gusto. And it's a good ball to play Shea Charles in behind. He's in a foot race with Meccano. And he just about comes away with the ball. Big chance here for Northern Ireland. And they've got a goal. Patrick Kelly pulls one back. It's 2-1. Just like that, Northern Ireland have half the deficit. What a moment for Patrick Kelly. It's his first goal on his 4th cap. And it's a really well worked goal from Michael O'Neill's side. Did really well to win that back. A quick turnover. Meccano and Shea Charles almost run into each other and Charles comes away with it. Good determination from the Saints midfielder. They both just kind of fall over the ball. You use the space really well, Shea Charles. It's a great run from Patrick Kelly. Into that 6-yard box, evades the attentions of Maxence Lacroix and obliges to tap into the empty net. And what a moment that is for him. What a moment for Northern Ireland. (2-1) now. Now, how will these final 26 minutes remain? 64 on the clock. And Northern Ireland have a way back in it now. Great play from Trey Charles in the build-up to that goal. He's really impressed tonight yet again. But have Northern Ireland only served to poke the bear, if you will, in halving that deficit? Will that spur France on to go and restore that 2-goal cushion? Now, they're France's last friendly at home before the Northern Ireland game and the Ivory Coast game was a 0-0 draw against Canada in June 2024. So 2 home friendlies without a win. Can Northern Ireland make it 3? Well, they're looking behind again. Patrick Kelly makes the run, but Lacroix uses his pace and uses his body to get rid of the danger. Patrick Kelly not giving up on the ball there, though. Rabiot comes forward, strides into the Northern Ireland half and finds Bradley Barcola. Inside for Mbappe. Lays off to Luca Dean, who plays it back to Maxence Lacroix. Chouameni. Cherki, back to Chouameni. Luca Dean on the ball again. He'll go to his second World Cup at 32 years old this summer. His last World Cup wasn't 2022, nor was it 2018, for which he was put on standby. It was Brazil 2014. And a lifetime ago that feels. Elise finds Luca Dean. Lays it back off to Barcola, back to Dean with an overlapping run. Tries his luck with the cross, but Hume does very well to cut it out. And Donnelly, facing his own goal, runs into trouble, and Chouameni's got the ball back. There's a man down for Northern Ireland on the far side of the pitch. France continue to play on. Mbappe finds Elise. Elise tries to feed it through Mbappe. He's cut out well by Kieran Brown, but it's picked back up by France. Cherki now to Elise. He's going to try his luck again, but it's high and wide. I'm sure he certainly will fancy a hat-trick, Michael Elise. But it's Justin Devaney who is down at the moment. He's going down before Malo Gusto makes the challenge. And he just seems to aggravate his leg. There's a goal again from Isaac Price, doing really well as well to feed that through for Shea Charles. And I'm not sure Patrick Kelly could have even dreamt of scoring today. It's a Barnsley player who scores against some Real Madrid Galacticos, a whole host of Premier League household names, and it's a good opportunity for the teams to have their cooling break for the second half. 68 minutes on the clock, and it's France 2, Northern Ireland 1. Now, this is the first time in 27 years that France and Northern Ireland have met. The last time was also a friendly at Windsor Park in Belfast, and France emerged as victors by a 1-0 thanks to a goal from Lilian Leslands. And they've also met in 2 World Cups as well. Most recently 1982 in Madrid, France winning 4-1, and in 1958 in Sweden, a 4-0 win for the French, in which Just Fontaine scored twice. adding to what ended up a tally of 13 goals in 6 games, which remains a record for the most amount of goals in a single World Cup. But the teams are ready to continue. I'm sure that France will have been a little bit rattled, for want of a better word, by Northern Ireland spoiling their clean sheet, and not just that, but finding their way back into this game. Seemed like a mountain to climb when Michael Olise scored early in the second half. These Northern Ireland players could have easily got their heads down, but instead they've halved the deficit. And with 20 minutes to play, anything could happen here. But Olise, who's been the star tonight, facilitates that play in the middle of the park very well there, laying it off. And Luca Dean, the dinked ball over the top towards Bradley Barkley, picked up by Trey Hume, but he was offside originally there, the PSG winger. And Northern Ireland have the free kick near their own penalty box, which Piers Charles comes across to take. And Michael O'Neill will be very happy with what he's seen from his side so far. Piers Charles does indeed go long, and it's flicked on by Spencer. Donnelly tries to hold off Lacroix but can't keep the ball, and Cherki will lay off to Michael Olise. Plays it out wide for Mbappe. He might have a bit of space to run into now, which is never a good sign if you're facing it. It's a great turn from Mbappe. The footwork is tremendous. He just about kept hold of the ball there. He's laid it off for Adrien Rabiot. Barkley cuts inside, lays it off to Tchouaméni, and Northern Ireland have done really well to get back again in the numbers. So loose touch from Makana, but Olise with a sensational flick to keep possession, keep things ticking. Moving it about with pace now, France. While it's patient, it's patient in terms of going against this low block. They're moving it about with pace. I think there's a bit of urgency in the game now. That Northern Ireland goal may well have been a wake-up call. There's more goals to get here. I'm sure we'll see more in these final 18-19 minutes. Digne picks it up on the left flank, comes inside, edging towards the area, finds Cherki. A great debut year at Man City, great step over there to evade the attentions of Ethan Galbraith. But Tchouaméni returns it to Luca Digne, seeing a lot of the ball off the bench now, the Aston Villa fullback. Of course, won the Europa League with the side from Birmingham just a couple of weeks ago. Olise into Cherki, back to Upamecano, ball out on the right now. Upamecano taking his time. Mbappe again. Comes inside for Cherki. Olise first time into the feet of Aurélien Tchouaméni. Tchouaméni out to Digne on the left now. Digne back to Tchouaméni. Plays it forward for Mbappe. Flicked past for Cherki, but it's wayward. Northern Ireland threatened to break there, but Tchouaméni picks it up again, and Olise's got it now. Plays it through for Mbappe, but he's missed. He's put it over. And the flag stays down this time. I have nothing there, just as Northern Ireland were about to break. The minute France get the ball back, there's trouble. Olise again, the architect. Great threaded ball. And while the run is tracked, Mbappe is always going to get there. Charles closes down the angle, and Mbappe blazes it over the bar yet again. And just how Kylian Mbappe has not equalled Olivier Giroud's record of 57 goals for the national team tonight, I'm not quite sure. But I'm sure he'll be hungry as ever to do so in these dying stages. Barcola comes inside, having a shirt pulled by Spencer, but offloads the ball for Upamecano. Out to Malo Gusto at the right. Olise by the flank, taking on Devaney. Cuts inside onto his left foot and has a go. Oh, and that is sensational. Michael Olise has his hat-trick. What a goal from a special player. What have we witnessed here? Michael Olise is firmly taking Kylian Mbappe's thunder tonight. Picks it up on the left, comes inside, driving away from goal onto his stronger left foot. He's turned away from goal and he wraps his foot around it. And it nestles into that far corner. That is a superb strike. Quite frankly, what can you do about that? That is out of this world. Just clips the woodwork on the way in as well to make it even more aesthetically pleasing. And some of the reactions from the French players and fans alike tell you all you need to know. That was a moment of pure magic from Michael Olise. He's got his hat-trick. 15 minutes ago, now it's France 3, Northern Ireland 1. And all three scored by Bayern Munich's winger. And it feels that the world is about to really feel his presence this summer. And that goal may have served to take the wind out of the sails of the Northern Irish. And that urgency that France were playing with on the back of that Patrick Kelly goal, that pressure pays dividends. And where Mbappe's missed, Olise has produced. He's delivered again. And they're not done yet. Barkle coming forward. Digne on the overlap, goes back inside, but Hume cuts it out, and it's out for a throw, which Digne will take. He looks to take it quickly, finding Mbappe, who again has been all across the front line tonight. This time on the left, goes inside to Maxence Lacroix, returns it to the left flank. Mbappe has Digne in support, uses Michael Olise, who's popped up on the left now, returns it to him. The two star men kind of just showing off a bit here now, and Ryan Cherky getting in on the act, finding Dayo Upamecano. Rabiot now as well on the ball, approaching the Northern Ireland area. Lays it off back to Cherky. And France almost taking the sting out of things now, just keeping the ball. Cherky finding Olise. All of a sudden the pace is there. Rabiot finds Olise. His cut back for Barkle, picked off by Trey Hume. But it does go behind for Northern Ireland's ball. And a throw in it is for Trey Hume to take. The French fans sing the Marseillaise on what promises to be a celebratory night. And while it's not been perfect, they'll certainly take a lot of encouragement from tonight's display, with the pressure hot on their shoulders going into the World Cup. Patrick Kelly's done excellently there to wriggle away with that ball just inside the France half, and he has drawn a foul. But before the free kick can be taken, there is changes to be made for Northern Ireland, as we see another replay of that spectacular Olise goal. Jamie Donnelly is the one to make way. Josh McGuinness comes on. And Jamie McDonnell and Kadach O'Neill also enter the fray. Donnelly, Price make way. No, had a chance there as well. Mike Mannion holding on to Devaney's effort from the free kick. And Josh McGuinness made his debut for Northern Ireland 16 years ago, now 36. Played against Turkey in 2010 and scored his first international goal against Greece in 2015. And now France come up the other end. Digne on the left. His cross is blocked and put behind for a corner. And when Josh McGuinness made his Northern Ireland debut, Michael Olise was just 8 years old. But from the corner, Mbappe has a bit of space on the edge of the box, finds Olise. You can feel the fear when he gets that ball. Cherki has it now on the left, darts inside, great footwork. It's a terrific lofted pass into the middle, but it's headed clear, and even Meccano is holding onto his head. He might have a clash of heads there in the box. Play continues. Devaney brings the play McDonald down the line, but it is one back as the referee pulls play back. So Upamecano can be seen to. It's Patrick Kelly, the goal scorer, who made way for Kadak O'Neill. Made his debut just last week against Guinea, the Arsenal starlet. And he debuted for Linfield in the Northern Irish Premier League at just 15 years old. France lining up another couple of changes. Manu Kone of Roma and Magnus Akliouche of Monaco getting ready to come on as well. Whether Upamecano is fit enough to continue remains to be seen. Ibrahima Kanate also on the bench as a potential replacement for his former RB Leipzig teammate. Olise's first goal, an instinctive tap in. A second, a flying swinging volley. And a third, an absolutely extraordinary strike. Curled on that left boot into the far left corner. Michael Olise, take a bow. What a player he is. Aurelien Chouameni is one of the players who will make way, with Manu Kone a like-for-like swap. And it does appear that the hat-trick hero himself, Michael Olise, is going to leave the field as well. None of the Northern Ireland defenders could put an end to his magic powers. Instead, it's Didier Deschamps and the fourth officials board. Magnus Akliouche of Monaco, attacking midfielder, 24 years old. Only made his debut for the French national team last year. 8 caps to his name. It appears he'll occupy the central role with Dembele going out onto the right, or Desiree Doué for that matter. Sorry, not Dembele, he has left the field. Bradley Barcola is of course on in his place, and he's currently on the left. I'm sure those Northern Ireland defenders will be breathing a sigh of relief. Now Michael Olise, they no longer have to deal with him. It's not much better though for them as Bradley Barcola picks up the ball on the left. Offloads to the substitute Manu Kone. Has it back now, Kone. Cherki. Finds Lacroix just inside the Northern Ireland half. 83 minutes on the clock. Remains 3-1 here in Lille. Digne on the left. Finds Cherki. Those dancing feet that we've seen a lot of in the Premier League this season with Manchester City. Put to good use tonight. Oh, it's a lovely back heel from the magician to find Mbappe. It's quick feet from the French attack. Rabiot and Digne, a little give and go. Cherki has it again on the edge of the box. Kone sets himself up, threads it through for Mbappe. Lays off to Magnus Akliush. Had to take it quickly and couldn't quite get a clean strike on the ball. Perhaps he was trying to lay that off to Mbappe again there, who had made the run. But I think Trey Hume's presence was just enough to stop Mbappe gambling on that ball. There's a loose pass there from McDonald. But Northern Ireland will pick up the ball again. It's back with Pierce Charles. McConville thought about going back to Charles, but he's under pressure from Mbappe. Shea Charles will go long, and it's flicked on well. Brody Spencer dispossessed by Rabiot, and it's back with Mike Maignan in the France goal. Josh McGuinness, of course, part of that Northern Ireland squad that played at Euro 2016 here in France. Rabiot now getting inside the Northern Ireland half. Out on the left to Barcola. Digne with the give and go, but his pass is wayward and Trey Hume will cut it out. And Galbraith brings it away. Quick pass in there. Spencer though with a bit of a ill-advised pass forward and dispossessed by Mbappe. Shirky down inside from the left onto the right now. Gives it to Akliush, who has a go, but his shot on the left foot is blocked by McConville and Northern Ireland come away with it. McGuinness thought about driving forward, but 36 years old, I don't think he's quite got the pace to do so, but it's decent footwork from the Exeter City man. Finds Galbraith and there's space on the left if he can make the pass. He does work it out to the left flank with Justin Devaney. He's got O'Neill ahead of him. O'Neill puts the ball towards the area, and it's took a nick to go behind for a corner. 4 minutes to play. If Northern Ireland can find a goal here, never say never. Shea Charles stood over it on the far side. Go for an in-swinging corner on the right foot. Josh McGuinness among the targets in the middle. It's deep into the box, and Maignan gratefully claims and quickly rolls out to Malo Gusto on the left. Threads it forward for Ryan Shirky, who drives forward into the space. He's got a sea of green shirts in front of him, not a lot of white shirts, but his deflected pass makes his way to Kylian Mbappe. Just takes a swing out of it on the right flank now, Kylian Mbappe, and goes inside to Akliush. Back to his fellow substitute, Kone. And Mbappe's pass is rather poor there into O'Neill, but Mbappe does have it back. Akliush on the right now, back inside to Mbappe. The deflection takes it only as far as Mbappe, but he has another go on the left foot. And again, it's wayward, high and wide. On the turn, he just gets under it. And he really wants that goal tonight, Kylian Mbappe, but it's just not coming. He's got 2 minutes of regular time to find it. The ball currently in possession of the French defence. Gusto finds Akliush on the right. Not quite as much urgency in France's play now, understandably. Kone on the halfway line lays it back to Lacroix. Out to Luca Dean at left back. And back with Crystal Palace's Lacroix. Shirky pops up again now on the right. Good footwork to beat his man. He dances past two. Onto the right into the box. It's great work by Shirky. Lays it off to Akliush. Lays it off again for Mbappe. It's a good turn to take onto his left foot. Lays it off to Bradley Barcola. Cuts inside onto the right. Has a go. But it's high and over Pierce Charles' goal. Northern Ireland did well to get all the men back there. Just about probably put off the French attackers. And also I'm sure Mbappe would have had a go. Instead it was Barcola. And to the delight of Northern Ireland, it does go over the bar. And from the goal kick, it's back with the France defence as Rabiot carries it forward. France want to add to this lead, it seems. Northern Ireland not with much left in the tank, certainly in the way of attacking energy. Akliouche loads it into Kone. Back to Monaco's Akliouche. Digne just inside left now, just entering the Northern Ireland third. Barkala toys with Brody Spencer, finds Kone. Good one-touch pass in here. Manu Kone into Mbappe again, lovely flick. Akliouche is back to goal. Back outside the box for Digne on the left. Back inside to Barkala. Cherki now, and the D has a go. But he's almost falling as he takes that shot. The ball's moving, it's not quite the best decision to take a shot there. May have took a deflection. But now, another change for France as we take into the 3 minutes of stoppage time. Adrien Rabiot makes way for N'Golo Kante, one of 4 players in this squad who won the 2018 World Cup alongside Dembele, Mbappe and Lucas Hernandez, and alongside Luca Digne, who's also part of the team that reached the Euro 2016 final. 35 years old now, N'Golo Kante, cap number 69 for him, now playing his football in Fenerbahce. Akliouche's corner is cleared at the front post by Trey Hume, but it's only as far as Malo Gusto, running back towards his own goal. Kante makes sure the ball goes back forwards towards Pierce Charles' net. Cherki returns it to Akliouche. Has the beating of Justin Devenny. Lacroix out to Digne. He's got Barkala to his left. He finds him. Barkala quite wide now, coming inside onto the right. Finds Kone. Back out to Luca Digne. And he returns it to Roma's Kone. And they really took the sting out of things now, France. I'm not sure in this last 90 seconds they are all too keen on getting a fourth. I'm not sure they want to expend too much energy, but Cherki with a great ball. Mbappe rides a challenge in McConville, but he's just dispossessed. But he keeps it alive there. Barkala into Cherki, looks to return it, but Shea Charles gets a foot in there. But Northern Ireland can't clear their lines again. Upamecano recycles, and Gusto picks it up on the right. Kante into Akliouche, back to Cherki. Gusto makes a run, but instead Cherki goes alone, has a go, but it's blocked by McConville. Again falls out to Akliouche. A lot of space here for Bradley Barkala. Out to Luca Digne, but it's pulled back, cut out by Ethan Galbraith. Gets the second ball into the box and it's headed clear. Kante can't quite keep it alive, but it falls to Upamecano. Blocked and cleared. But still 30 seconds on the clock and France still coming forward. Upamecano. 1-2 with Cherki. Out to Kone. Bradley Barkala got Digne on the overlap. Instead goes inside to Kone. Kone finds Mbappe. About 25 yards out. A sea of green shirts in front of him. Uses Cherki. Just holds onto the ball. Lays it off to Upamecano. Into the final 10 seconds now of stoppage time. Cherki drives into the box again. Lays it off to his former Lyon teammate Malo Gusto. Back to Akliouche. Can they have one last shot on goal as we tick over the 3 minutes? Cherki on his left foot now, running away from goal. Lays off to Digne. Lines one up, but blazes it high and wide. And that is all she wrote. Full time, France 3, Northern Ireland 1. And it's a winning send-off from his adoring home support for Didier Deschamps and this France national team, who have rightfully asserted their status as one of the favourites for the 2026 World Cup. And as mentioned, if they are to have any chance of winning another, then hat-trick hero Michael Olise will certainly have his part to play. Patrick Kelly pulled one back for Northern Ireland in the second half, but a stunner from Olise, his third of the night, put the game firmly to bed, and France are sent on their travels stateside in winning fashion. Full time in Lille, France 3, Northern Ireland 1.